they have quarterback concerns of their own with Anthony Richardson basically out for the rest of minicamp with shoulder concerns on that shoulder that was previously injured as well. There's been talks of he should be ready for training camp, getting a second opinion. It's a little bit murky. It's you kind of heard a little bit both ways. Point is, the shoulder's banged up right now. We haven't even got through mini camps. The reason we're kind of focusing on this, normally the injuries right now, meh, you kind of take with a pound of salt, like we just talked about with CJ. But when it comes to that surgically repaired shoulder, our good friend Brian from the Injured Sports podcast, he kind of told us a little bit about this at the Fantasy Football Expo, where that's a very concerning injury. And this was a blog post that he posted I want to bring to everyone's attention to. Grade 3 AC joint separation. It sidelined again, aggravating that same shoulder. Doesn't look like it'll be surgery this time. Taking a cautious approach, easing him back into it, especially a very complex injury, like you mentioned. He told us, I believe it was on the recorded show he had too, that a high chance of re-injury with that type of thing. It's not like Keenan Allen's AC shoulder joint was not nearly as severe. And on top of that, he's playing receiver where Anthony Richardson's playing quarter/fullback at the same time on any given play. And I'm going to add on to this before I let you go too. I'm really worried about it in the standpoint of he's hurt a lot. He's missed 50% of the eligible games, so it's not just this one thing. Two, the way he throws the ball is not very mechanically sound at this point. So a lot of his the throws he has, he's not using his whole body, he's not using the hip, he's not rotating. There's a lot of stress on that elbow and shoulder as it is. In addition to if he would have been more fundamentally sound, it would already be there too. So I am concerned about that as well. Not to mention, he is a running quarterback. That is what makes him even remotely a threat at times, is the fact that he can move. This is not going to help. So if I'm the Colts, I'm definitely worried. And we kind of got that sentiment when the new owners talk about it too, of like he's a young kid, but at some point, like these injuries are getting to a concern. And an injury to the throwing shoulder, very rarely is it just kind of something you wash away, especially one, as our good friend Brian here explains. It's not just a casual injury. It's not just, ow, that hurts a little bit. Like this is, I'm not gonna say Tommy John for pitchers because that's extreme, but it's something to be definitely concerned about.
Yeah, it's more terrifying. It's honestly it's the equivalent to Tommy John's for an NFL quarterback. And what I mean by that is it is as close as you can get because there is no surgery outside of clipping and cleaning that you can do. You can't have like the high wire like they do for the ankles that keep it from re-separating. You can't have those type of surgeries on it. These surgeries, we talked to Brian about this in depth before when we were at the expo last year. And, I really wish we had just gotten on camera at that point in time. But it was really interesting because there's nothing that the doctors can really do to help prevent, whereas there's a lot of new surgeries for other injuries that you can actually prevent, that you can have preventative surgeries in there. This is one that you're a little terrified that it's going to be a long-term thing. And AC joints have never been a good thing, whether it be an offensive lineman, whether it be a quarterback, whether it be a linebacker. I mean, you see Terrell Suggs used to wear that giant shoulder piece, that shoulder harness, after he separated his AC joint for the first time. And he said it would just keep happening. And then it's just a matter of playing through pain, getting Toradol shots and everything else in between. And especially for AR, it's like even more terrifying because he's a guy that his body doesn't work with his arms when he throws the ball. He's very much we talk about it in baseball all the time, a guy who throws with his arms, maybe gets a lot of velocity, but doesn't get everything on it. And but can't get as much as what he does with his body. Think about how far he throws right now. He doesn't use a complete throwing motion to do that. He uses a 85% upper body, 15% lower body. If he had an understanding of that bio rhythm, that motion, these shoulder injuries become less concerning. If he threw like Phillip Rivers, as ugly as that was, if he threw like Phillip Rivers, I'm not concerned about this at all, period. Because that guy doesn't throw with anything more than his body. And that's, at the end of the day, Anthony Richardson's going to have to go through his own growth period here and come back a revamped style of player if this is not going to become a long-term injury. And that is already terrifying considering he was already a project.
And if you throw on top of it, let's say he does all of that stuff mechanically well, that becomes not an issue. That shoulder's still a concern if you had just tackled wrong or if you just fall on it wrong too. Like there's all that on top of it, especially with, as Brian mentioned, something that can be a very concerning for injury. The good news is he didn't re-injure it last season. Like the earlier was the bigger concern of it happening again. So hopefully in theory, this means that it could start to build that way. You got to definitely be concerned, especially because right now you're not even into training camp. You're in the mini camps of June. But that was, once again, we wanted to give a shout out to our good friend Brian as well. Definitely go check out his blog. Right there, you can see the link on the screen. You can reach out there as well. So definitely go check him out and his podcast. Always a pleasure to understand from him. The guy who knows his stuff inside and out. And if you want to, win your fantasy league,
industry professional. Literal
true industry professional. You want to win your fantasy league, the best thing you can do is have your guys play and that's the biggest thing is having them healthy. So definitely go check out Brian, his podcast, his blog, everything in between. You definitely won't regret it. It's absolutely awesome. But